Packed midfield here. Lots of space on the wings to push the ball out wide, as you're mentioning there, Michael. Now they look like they've found the space going up the right now. He's on overlapping. Foul called there, favoring the Rovers.
Jinan's not really been used too much this season. Him and Taktasaka were brought into the squad primarily just to be squad players, get them a bit of experience. Two 17-year-olds. They've played together in teams since they were 5 years old. And last season in the VMSL was the first season they've been on different teams and then reunited again on this team here. Tasaka injured today though. And Jinan is a guy that's just come back from having some trials with Nuremberg under-19s in Germany.
Not too shabby. Standing over this is Matteo Polisi. Two-man wall. He's got options in the box. Puts it low, headed away by Van Doorn. Not far out of danger, though. Rovers still with it. Nice little move there by Marcelo Polisi. Two Polisis in D-mid. You can just say Polisi and be pretty sure you're going to get it right.
Yeah, they're going to be reunited as well this coming college season up at SFU Clan. They both came through the Whitecaps residency program, then Matteo headed over to Europe, came back, joined the Timbers residency program, and now they're both going to be at school up at SFU. Exciting to see them in the middle, two very, very talented midfielders.
Corner here for the Rovers. Into the box, punched clear by Venola. Trying to get to it there, and actually managing to win out was Nelson. Goto. Take his time here, pick his target, finds Van Doorn. Back to Nelson. Nelson looks up, tries to take on his man one-on-one, checks back, and this is Goto. Looks long, Sturck's made a run, flag is still down, he's still on side. Sturck crosses, the run by Afosu, can't get there. Well blocked out at the back, and it'll be claimed by Hicks.
I think it was Alejandro Varela there that intercepted that. He's a guy that's come in mid-season for TSS, very versatile at the back, can play both full-backs and centre-back, has looked best at centre-back.
Sturck now wide left. Crosses high. Afosu is waiting to be over his head, but at the far post! Putting it high, well high and over the net. Was a late run there by Bartolillo. If you're just joining us, we apologize for the technical issues earlier there. My name is Roturo, joined by Michael McCall from AFTN Canada in the booth. Hope you're enjoying this Juan de Fuca plate match. It's winner take all with the tiebreaker going the way of the Rovers, so they only need a draw to capture the first silverware in their PDL existence.
And TSS Rovers have 2 games left today and then Wednesday against Seattle Sounders, and they've got a couple of goals left that they want to achieve. They want to get their first away win ever. Today's the last chance to do that. They want to win their first silverware as well.
They might get a chance here. Ball through, looking for the run. Last-ditch poke there by Goto puts it out. Already seeing signs of that speed from the wingers that you mentioned there, Michael. No fear whatsoever in charging forward. Matteo Polisi. Finds Marcelo and back. Marcelo, checked down by Afosu. Dylan. McMillan. One-on-one. Makes a nice little shake here. Now being closed down. Finds a man in the area. Back out it goes. Marcelo. Polisi. Crosses out to the edge of the area. Smith. Trying to close down his man there. But Verhoeven, providing all sorts of trouble. Crosses into the center. Just over. Tipped over there by Van Hola. He had to be sure. It was a very teasing-looking header trying to loop over. Ultimately, Van Hola pushes it out. It'll be corner for the Rovers.
Daniel Davidson with the header there for TSS. He's the Rovers' leading scorer. Technically has 5 goals, only showing a credit of 4 because he did score their first ever goal in the club history, but unfortunately was an ineligible player for that game.
The infamous 3-point deduction.
Yeah.
One of those first-year mistakes is a thumping drive there, looking for the top corner there from Polisi. Matteo Polisi looking for a pile driver to open things off here in the 8th minute. Trying to open the goal scoring early. Not quite able to find the target.
And Matteo Polisi is a guy, he's not afraid to have a shot. He leads the team going into this with 10 shots. That's 11 now for him. And he's a guy that likes to shoot. His brother Marcello is probably the best ball-playing midfielder on this team. Came through the Whitecaps residency program. He's just a quality player. SFU are very high in him. Didn't get a chance to play much last year through injury, though.
Nelson goes out wide. There's Bartolillo. Crosses it for far post. Sturrock can't quite get there, and it's out anyway. Not able to keep it in. Bit too much energy on that cross there from Bartolillo. Sturrock able to make the run, not able to get it on target. And it will be Hicks to start things off here for the Rovers.
A lot of energy from both teams so far, end-to-end stuff. It's very warm down there on the pitch, so it's hard to see this pace keeping up for too long, especially for TSS that don't have a lot of subs. They kind of want to get the pace to kind of drop just a little bit as we get towards half-time, but a long way to go till then.
Centennial Stadium does have a reputation as a bit of a wind tunnel as well, so though there is heat, if a little wind kicks up, it'll get breezy down there in a right hurry. Flag goes up for offside.
It's been a long journey over for TSS. They got the 9 o'clock ferry, got here just before noon. So a lot of time to prepare and kind of kick their tyres for this game to happen. But they're really up for it. They've got their beer to celebrate the trophy at the end of it.
In speaking with the coach earlier, he said that win or lose, we'll drink the booze. Such is life in the PDL, which is, if that isn't a good motto for an amateur side, I just don't know what is.
I did tell them, though, that if they don't win it, they should just pour the beer out and say, this is what you could have had.
Ooh. That would be pretty cruel. As Davidson tries to get the cross in. Not able to. Nelson is there. Sends it out wide for Goto. He'll thump it to a waiting Sturrock. Close down quickly. He does turn his man, though, and Sturrock's got a bit of speed. Goes over the top for a Fosu. Can't get a step on his man, though. And waiting there is Papadinets.
I've liked what I've seen from Ofosu in the 2 games against TSS this year. He looks a really dangerous player.
Dangerous, but not quite as clinical, perhaps, as the Highlanders would have liked, as that ball falls clear, but Nelson not able to get there, and another timely intervention.
Yeah, I would have expected Ofosu to do a little bit more. I think he's just got 1 goal on the year.
That was in the first game, too, in the thumping 4-1 victory over Lane United.
8 shots, so he's up amongst the team leaders, but you do expect more from the Englishman.
Offside there called on Sturrock, as he received that long cross.
And Ofosu, one of a number of out-of-town players in the squad, and Dave Dew was talking to you about that before the match.
He was concerned that perhaps they'd overshot this season trying to improve the squad. Chemistry, always such a challenge with a summer league team. So key to have a core group of players, Coach Dave Dew was saying. And he thinks for this next year, there's about a dozen local lads on this squad now who know each other, have played with each other. He's looking forward to seeing what they can do with year 2 of a much more expanded core.
It is hard to get chemistry. I mean, you're coming in, I don't know what it was like for Victoria, but for the TSS guys, they didn't get a lot of the college guys till after the season had started. They'd played a couple of games by the time that they got a few of them. Then they've been hit by injuries, and they had 10 injured or unavailable players for the game today.
Not a good place to be in. That touch from Ofosu goes out. He's pleading his case for a deflection there from Rovers. Won't get it. And that'll be Papadinets on the throw-in on the far side. The Lakeside boys now getting their voices out. Little song to encourage the lads. The Swan Guardians bravely showing their colors at the far end of the pitch. Sturrock, little back heel. Not going to fool Bukas with that. Long ball trying to find Verhoeven. Closed down. Smith moves forward. Sturrock has a coming together there of bodies. And call goes the way of the Highlanders.
Zach Verhoeven, one of a number of players just back in this TSS Rovers lineup after being away with UBC in Beijing, where they won the silver medal in the University Elite Games down in Beijing. Great performance from UBC, just fell short to a German team in the final. But Verhoeven was named to the All-Star team, so he had an excellent outing down there. He is a player to watch, he's a dangerous guy. His work ethic can sometimes let him down a little bit. If things aren't going well, he kind of drops out of the game.
And on this set piece now, long free kick. Floated in. Deflected. Behind. Came off a Highlander last. Plenty of bodies in the box there. Not able to get ahead to it, though, was either Sturrock or Fosu. Nelson also cheating in. Based on what you've seen over their first season in PDL, Michael, do you like what you've seen from Rovers? Do they have potential to grow further in year 2?
I mean, definitely. There's probably a core of maybe 10 to 12 guys that Colin Elms and Willie Cromack want to bring back next year. There's some guys as well that they've maybe not seen what they were expecting from them, but they've got a core that they do want to bring back. It's been hard with the injuries because a number of their top guys just haven't had a chance to see minutes, and they're missing Mamadi Kamara, who was one of their key guys for the year.
Little touch there. Lovely little sombrero. Stewart can't go get hit to it. Nelson is waiting. Little touch. Still on his feet. Lays it back. Takes a deflection. It'll be out. Offside, though, was the player. Offside was Pierce on that deflection.
That looked like it could have gone anywhere. It's a bit of a panic attack at the moment. Every time Highlanders get forward, TSS are kind of all over the place in the box.
Bit of a fire drill, but they still got time to sort this out. Only 14 minutes into the match. No score. A draw will see Rovers win the Juan de Fuca plate. If the Highlanders want it, they need a win. Ball from Sturck, first time, finds his man. Great save! Fantastic by Hicks, getting big to deny Pierce.
And Hicks has been outstanding for TSS this year. I mean, he's a guy, talk about coming in and seizing your opportunity. UBC keeper Chad Bush was meant to be the #1 keeper for TSS, unfortunately got injured, and then Hicks has taken his chance and not been out the team.
Goto crosses far post, nobody there. Second ball, though, won back by the Highlanders. Low ball deflected, this time will be grabbed by Hicks.
And Hicks and Verhoeven are the two guys that you would say are up for the TSS Rovers Player of the Year. And if you look at the stats, they've conceded 25 goals, so it's strange to say a goalkeeper is your Player of the Year, but that is just how good he's been. If it hadn't been for him, they just would have been in a lot of trouble this year. Highlanders, of course, as well, 26 goals conceded, so you expect goals today. This doesn't seem like a game that's going to finish 0-0.
And on that similar note, the Highlanders as well. Simon Norgrove has been in the discussion for Supporters' Choice Player of the Year as well. It hasn't been the greatest of seasons for the Highlanders, but without Norgrove in net, it could have been much, much worse. So Venhola has big shoes to fill here, filling in for the suspended Norgrove. Shogoto, the other player, has really put himself into a conversation for Player of the Year. In fact, in talking with Coach Dew before the match, apparently the Tacoma Stars indoor team have been asking about Shogoto. He may end up trialing with them. Be great to see him getting some more minutes as he furthers his career.
He's definitely impressed me in the games that I've seen so far, and the transition he's made from defence to striker has just been incredible.
And that's a fantastic header, but it's called on the offside. Wide open player at top of the 6.
Great cross in from Ryan Dillon there, hit the byline. That's something that we've seen him do so many times for SFU Clan over the years, and perfect cross to Davidson. I kind of need to see that again, really, because the ball was played back, so it's hard to see how he was offside there.
Considering where the ball's being placed, I think the linesman has called it as being over the byline.
That would make more sense.
And escaping a near disaster there for the Highlanders. Venhola will start it out. Fosu. He's off of Bartolillo. On the overlap is Jonas Smith. Smith, another midfielder converted to fullback. Fosu puts it into the box. Nothing but black jerseys there. Fosu will try again. Back to Smith. Crosses. Nelson far area. Not getting to him. And back the other way it goes. Foot race here. Smith should win that. Back to Venhola. And he's clear of the pressure.
The header from Davidson for that disallowed goal was fantastic. It shows you the threat he can be. He's a guy that Colin Elms has talked about. He can do nothing for 20 or 30 minutes, then all of a sudden, bang, he's your game changer. And we've seen that in a couple of games this year. And he's had previous PDL experience with Kitsap.
Sturrock now on the long ball, crosses over the head of Nelson. Goto thought about coming up, thought better of it. And now he's going to need to hurry back.
Flow of this game is incredible.
There's no bunker ball here, that's for sure. Both sides know what's at stake. With both teams near or at the bottom of the table, this is their one shot at silverware for the season. And you get the sense that they would all love to hoist the wand if you could plate. Maybe take a little bit of a drink off of it after full time.
Well, I know the TSS Rovers guys, they're planning to hit the Roxy in Vancouver tonight if they do win it, so scary for both people really there.
Venhola slowing things down. He's not liking the pace that he's seeing. Everyone gets set and he goes long. Waiting, there's a Fosu. Collides with Varela. And Bartolillo. Smith and Bartolillo on the far side. Cutting inside now. Fosu looks for that through ball. Can't keep control, but Bartolillo will chase. Intercepted and cleared by Rovers. Marcelo Polisi. Mateo holding things close in the midfield here. Looking for that way out. Sturck closes down. I'll have to go forward now, and they do. High pressure here from the Highlanders. Goto fouls his man. Free kick for the Rovers.
Highlanders mascot not happy with that?
Striker rarely is. He tends to call I would say biased game, but that would be an offense to the word bias.
Is he a border collie?
I believe he's a Highland Terrier.
Ah, that would make sense.
Yes, when you're a Highlander, you need an appropriate a Highland mascot, as it were. Heath now out of the back to McCurdy. Van Doorn. Bartolillo looking for Smith. He's pushed up again. Bartolillo for a Fosu. Little flick, can't get past his man. Sturck finds it though on the bounce forward to Nelson. Flag flashed for a second there, didn't stay up. It's Pierce. Over the top, Sturrock. Here's a header, but it's not going to trouble Hicks. Placement was good, power not so much. Sturrock in the right place again.
Great movement from Sturrock to get himself free there. Poor defending though for TSS to let him get free in the box and open like that, but not punished, so an escape.
Smith now going one-on-one for Hoven. Puts it low, just wide. Plenty of pace on display there from Verhoeven. Couldn't quite find the near post.
You can see in these early stages that the game plan for TSS is definitely to find Verhoeven out left and then Dillon out right. I wouldn't be surprised to see the two of them switch at some point during this half as well. Both very, very dangerous players at either end of their college careers. Ryan Dillon has just finished his senior year with SFU Clan. Had trials with Whitecaps 2 before the season. They decided to go and sign their residency striker Gloria Amanda instead, but I do believe Dillon is going to go and train with them at the end of the PDL season again.
That always is the goal for the PDL players, try and find that next step up, continue their professional careers. Iski Van Doorn, midfielder for the Highlanders, also been looked at by a couple of other teams. Coach Dew wouldn't elaborate on who's expressed the interest in Van Doorn, but he was happy to see another player moving ahead.
And as you say, it's great. I mean, you look at guys that's had experience with the Highlanders. Matt Polster, perfect example.
Absolutely.
Brett Levi's as well, who then came on the Whitecaps radar because of the way that he played for the Highlanders against the Whitecaps in PDL.
There were a lot of conflicted emotions, I can tell you, among the supporters when that happened, because we got to see him again, but now he was playing on the wrong side with the Salish Sea Derby. I believe there were a few traitor chants at Levi the first game back at Royal Athletic Park.
I can understand that. I had a chat with him though a week or so ago for our show, and he speaks so highly of his time here and what playing in the PDL meant for a guy from Saskatchewan, because there's not a lot of opportunities right now from people from the prairies. He had to have his coach convince the club here that he had what it took to make it, and then he's not looked back since. So the Highlanders can be very proud of what they achieved there.
It's no small wonder he was voted Supporters Player of the Year. Handball there on a Fosu. I recall that day well. Wonderful day at Royal Athletic when the players all lined up and Brett Levi accepted his Supporters' Choice Award from the Lakeside boys. Really no contest that year. You could see the talent. It was unmistakable.
Yeah, I mean, still out injured. He does hope to be back maybe late July, early August, but he's not going to rush himself back. He's just going to come back when he's ready, which is actually good to see. But definitely is a guy that's going to challenge Jordan Harvey for this left-back spot.
Polisi now. From Marcelo to Mateo. Goto closing down. Marcelo will try again. Van Doorn all over him, and they'll try up the left. This is McMillan. Little hop, gets past his man, into the area. Key intervention there from Heath. Flag goes up. Little shimmy, little shake, fine move up the left flank there by Rovers.
Yeah, it's Ryan Dillon moving from the right wing to the left wing there, trying to now get back into position. Jinan on the right-hand side as well has been getting forward a lot. Although I can't remember if he's 17 or 18. He was 17 at the start. He may have turned 18 now. But he's been playing in the adult VMSL for a couple of seasons now. So he's used to playing to guys older, and he's definitely not afraid to mix it up.
As long as you register all your players.
I think they are now.
Excellent. Deflected there. Cleared by Polisi. Trying to get there was Bartolilo, excuse me. And that will be a foul in favor of the Rovers. Past the quarter mark of the game. 23rd minute. No score at Centennial Stadium between Victoria Highlanders FC and TSS Rovers FC. Third and deciding match of the Wanda Fuca Plate. Awarded to the winner of the Salish Sea Derby, the best amateur side in BC in the PDL. Both sides with a win in Vancouver at Swangard Stadium, but on goal differential, Rovers came alive in the second game. Now looking to come alive here. The attacking Highlanders. Back to Smith. Crosses, looking for our post for Nelson over his head. And it'll be Rovers quick to counter here with plenty of speed. Away goes Verhoeven. Excuse me, that's McMillan.
There's Ryan Dillon.
Yes, it is. At this distance, 8s and 9s look all too similar.
Plus, he's moving really fast as well, so it's quite hard.
From distance, that will go over. Vanhola will gladly watch that one sail over. He's been less busy of the two keepers. Though certainly he has been the most threatened when he has been called into action. That one goal disallowed as the ball was deemed to have crossed the byline before the cross went in.
Bit of a surprise for me seeing him in goal today, because I did think they would give Yuichiro Hayami the start. I think he's had 2 appearances for the Highlanders so far. But
Sturrock trying to get in the area. No call there. Referee waves that off immediately. Right there to make the call. Sturrock doesn't protest. And it'll be Rovers in possession. Matteo Polisi. Back to Marcello. Out wide left now. Flag goes up for offside.
And Rovers do seem to have kind of made a couple of switches there. Dillon's moved out to the right side. We've got Daniel Davidson. Sorry, Dillon's moved over to the left side. Davidson's moved over to the right. McMillan playing through the centre with Verhoeven a little bit back. But now Dillon's coming back. He can play any of the front 3 positions. He's played as an out-and-out striker for SFU.
I think a little bit of tactical versatility. Try and get a little bit of edge on your opponents as the game wears on. Shake things up.
They're wanting to really try and stretch this defence. They're wanting to kind of use the wide pitch, and they've got the wide players that can certainly do that. They're just not being able to stay on side and cause the threats I think that they're hoping to.
They are pressing quite high now, though, forcing the Highlanders' attack back. And Hull will try again. So Goto out wide. Nelson is long up to the left. That's where the ball goes. Sturrock is there as well. Does come down for Sturrock. 1-on-5. Gets a foot to it, and Hicks is down for a save. Sturrock did all of it there to try and get a foot on it. Did in the end. Hicks up to the task.
Did so well to keep on the right side of Bukas there. And again, it's defending that's let TSS down a lot this year. You need to not let your man get goal side of you. Especially not a guy that's got experience like Sturrock.
Absolutely. The Jedi Master, you can hear the chant Jedi mind tricks coming in from the supporters. They do love him here in Victoria. Fosu. This is out wide now. Pierce to Bartolilo. Smith is overlapped. The cross looking for a Fosu over his head. And they'll call the foul there.
Sturrock is about as old as the Star Wars trilogy, so...
Roughly.
Yeah.
Give or take.
35 years old. I like to mention that when I'm commentating.
He has seen a few things a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Son of Scottish legendary striker Paul Sturrock as well. A man I saw numerous times in my younger years.
And was that because he played for East Fife, or was that... No.
I think he might have played against us once. Just on TV.
Of course.
And for Scotland. So at least you've got a Scottish guy on the Highlanders. I do like to see that.
Well, I mean, you have to keep up appearances, right? I mean, you have people with T, S, and S in their names on Rovers. We've got plenty of Scottish representation here, though they're now under threat. Ball into the center, chipped over. And Vanhola will claim that. It's the fast break there by Rovers, nearly finding a way through. Stayed on side that time, just couldn't find the final ball.
It's a lack of quality so far today from TSS in and around the box, and they really need to work on that if they want to try and break down this defence.
Fosu. Smith holds. Waiting for his time. Over the top, looking for Sturck. Finds him. Closed down immediately, but retains the ball. Tries to turn. Does cross. Awaiting a Fosu is in the area. Can he get a shot off? Deflected out. That'll be a corner. Fosu finally getting a little time to look. Not much space, though. Well defended. And they'll be out for a corner.
And a good chance for Highlanders here. TSS have struggled all year defending set pieces. Haven't given up too many goals, but they have been in a lot of problems with them. So Hicks has bailed him out a few times. Let's see what happens here.
Plenty of options here. It's high, flicked in. It is in. Who got the touch on it? It may have been Goto. There's a dog pile in the center. Just the tiniest of flicks. It would have been an Olympico almost, if not.
Still waiting to see who it is that scored.
Oh, they're getting plenty of hugs to Nelson, it looks like. And there's the high five from Sturck. That is indeed Ryan Nelson with the last little touch.
Fantastic in-swinging corner there as well. I mean, it's what I was saying, they've struggled to defend at set pieces, and especially from corners. You saw it again. And a fantastic header, great finish, 1-0 Highlanders. Now they've got their one hand on the Juan de Fuca plate here.
Paddy Nelson did very well in that scrum. Like you said, Michael, it was a little bit of a fire drill there. As you predicted, TSS Rovers having a bit of trouble in that set piece. Though to be fair, it was just one bounce away.
Yes.
One little touch away from clear. That fine line between a goal and a well-defended set piece. But undaunted are Rovers. They go right back to the attack. Davidson up front. Can they find a quick equalizer here? Not quite at the half-hour mark of the match. Highlanders 1, Rovers 0. Juan de Fuca plate now fully contested. And foul called there. Looks like something off the ball. Caught the referee's eye, and he'll call over Davidson for a chat. Also calling over Smith here.
The Rovers played just a little friendly on Thursday night against the BC Summer Games team. And it wasn't like a full-on match. There was a lot of the younger guys that was played, but they dominated the game, but they lost 2 goals, both to corners and poor defending. And it's cost them again today. They're going to be really disappointed with that. It's something they talked about, something that they'd worked on, and nothing Hicks could do with that.
It's a real inversion of that old standard, Michael. It used to be if you had possession, you had the game, but such is the modern game. Possession is such a false metric now.
Oh yeah, I mean, you saw that Whitecaps against Minnesota, 23% possession, 2 goals.
Only stat that matters. What's the final score? Although for stat nerds like myself, that does bring a tear to my eye.
Me as well.
Sturck now, closed down quickly. That ball can't find him, and it's Rovers back to the attack. Quick touchers, they go out to the left. Dangerous tackle from behind, but Bartolillo does well to win it back. That had to be inch perfect. That's an easy card. You could debate the color. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. And there's a ball looking for Nelson. He's looking for 2. He's on 1. Goes out to wide open. Show Goto. Goto! Great save by Hicks.
Fantastic stop by Hicks. He's been great one-on-one with stops, but Goto will want that back. Totally clear. Really should have put that away.
Thought he saw daylight. Wanted it first time.
TSS are waiting to make a sub as well. Kerman Panu looks like he's going to be coming on. Not sure who is going to be going off.
Pierce with the corner. Post flicked. Away by Rovers. Swing and a miss there by Bartolillo. Looked for the one-time volley. And this time volleyed clear by Dillon.
We might see the substitution here. Wondering if it might be Dillon, who did take a knock in that game on Thursday and went off after 10 minutes. He was touch and go for today. But I can't really see who the substitution would be for unless someone's picked up a little knock that we're not sure about.
Still no indication from either of the officials. As play continues with after that throw. Goto. He's got Pierce on the left. Opts to go himself to the center where Van Doorn is. Van Doorn one-on-one. Gets it back to Goto. Goto pokes it through for Sturck and Afosu. Gets to neither. Polisi sends it forward. And that's a wonderful long searching
Dylan's
ball up the
free
right.
here.
Dylan's got a step on his man. Heath tracks back. One-on-one, Heath and Dylan. And with a little bit of help from Goto, the Highlanders able to take down the threat. Dylan looking dangerous there, Michael.
Yeah, great defending by Heath. Got back, didn't give Dylan any room at all. He's a guy that just needs a fraction of a second on the defender and he'll get past him.
Now we see the substitution going here.
I think it's Connor McMillan who seems to have gone off the pitch at this side. Oh no, it's Jin An.
Yes, indeed. No fullback there. So Jin An will come off coming into the game. Number 13.
And as we talked about, very inexperienced. I'm thinking Colin Elms is feeling that they're getting burned a little bit. I mean, you saw that with Goto's chance. That's where Anne should have been. Acres of space, and he just wasn't there. So I think they're a little bit worried about how they're defending right now. Putting in the more experienced Panu, who plays for UBC.
Going right through the center here is Polisi. 1-on-5. He's brought down. Referee waves it off. He had a good look at it. Howls of protest from the Swan Guardians.
Polisi not happy there.
He might have had a case. That looked pretty close to foot on shin. Ultimately, the referee says no. And it's Pierce now. With Sturrock. Sturrock back to him. Out wide. That's where Smith is. Chips it forward for Fosu to run onto. Fosu nicked cleanly. And away come Rovers. 35th minute. Highlanders 1, Rovers 0. It's Dylan again. Looks back. Receives it again in tight quarters. Headed clear by Heath. And this is Van Doorn. It's at first time. Sturrock was not ready for that at all. And Hicks will get it back quickly.
The one thing Victoria really don't want to do is just to keep giving the ball back to TSS because they're just going to be under constant pressure. And in this heat and with these fast guys, at some point it is going to tell. Oh, a very late tackle there from Ofosu.
And he's going to get a stern talking to, perhaps more. And apparently he's having a word with Polisi as well.
No, I think Polisi just was wanting to make sure he was getting a booking there. I don't think he's going to be getting it, but Marcello Polisi furious at that challenge. He can be a little bit of a hothead. He got sent off in his debut within 30 minutes, and he's been told he needs to keep his head. It's just part of his game. He just gets really worked up, and it's good to see. It's the Italian in him.
Ofosu now fully warned by the referee. No cards shown. Well, there goes his buffer for any future endeavors. Have to be on his best behavior from here on out.
Very lenient so far today, the referee, which I don't mind. I don't like to see cards coming out too early because it does spoil the game and he then makes a hole for himself.
In a derby match, you want to see the players show some effort. You want to see them put some passion into their tackles so long as they stay on the right side of the laws of the game.
That was quite a late one from Ofosu. I think he's very, very lucky not to get a card.
Millen for Dylan. And Goto will recover. Benhola, under pressure, gets it back to Goto. Goto looks along. Nelson is there, tries his first-time ball, intercepted by Panu. Van Doorn comes away with it. Pierce, one touch, two touch, back to Nelson, back to Pierce. Playing with fire here in their own half. They come clear with it. Van Doorn.
And it does look like Verhoeven and Dylan have swapped wings like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see how the Highlanders respond to that.
Verhoeven's had his best games actually out on the right wing. He is a monster. You just have to give him a couple of yards and he'll be away from you. He is so fast.
Bukas goes forward. Polisi, excuse me. Tries the long ball. He's not going to find Davidson there. Benhola will gladly kill a few seconds here and get it up to Goto. Heath. Solid game at the back so far. The one disallowed goal notwithstanding. Though since the goal was disallowed, can you really hold it against him? Venhola out wide. Curdy. Looks over the top for Sturrock. He's checked his run. Can he stay on side? He did. Doesn't matter in the end. Vukas was there. Vukas and Varela have, with the exception of that set piece, Michael, they've shown that they can be an incredibly imposing duo.
Yeah. I mean, Vukas came through the Whitecaps residency program. Really good player. He's not the fastest on the deck. That is one of the things that does go against him. Varela, though, has come in and he's added a bit of a spark to the team in the defence. He's a character. They kind of needed a little bit of a character in the team, and he's kind of come in and done that. Always joking around. Something's always happening, whether he's losing his strip or whatever. So he's the kind of guy that you need in the locker room just to lighten it when it gets a little bit tough.
Van Duren looking for... He will end up getting a corner out of it. Preventative header there as Sturrock was lurking the back right of the pitch.
Highlanders having the most success with the long ball over the top because it isn't too fast centre-backs here, and they've probably seen that from game tape, and they know that they're not the most mobile. The Highlanders, I feel, have slowed the game down a little bit, but as soon as TSS get it, it's like a rush to the head. They're just trying to go forward a little bit too fast, and they need to think a bit more.
Goto will take this corner. Plenty of options in or near the area. Puts it high near post, cleared with authority by Polisi. Coming back in a hurry. Is that Heath? He's protesting. Bartolillo, excuse me. He'll get a talking to. Tactical foul there. Foul the man before he can make his run. And nothing further shown. And it will be a Rovers free kick as we approach the 40-minute mark. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Third game of the Juan de Fuca plate. Highlanders 1, Rovers 0. Ruturo and Michael McCall in the booth. Thank you for watching today. Be sure to stick around for the second half. You won't want to miss how this ends. It's been a great first half so far. Second promises to be even better, I would say, Michael.
Yeah, TSS still looking, though, for their first point on the road, never mind their first victory. So if they can get that today and win the trophy at the same time, that's going to be job done for them.
I just wanted an offside there. Isn't coming. Dylan tries his hand crossed. And that will be over the touchline, over the byline, excuse me, for a throw.
It has been a tough inaugural season for the Rovers. They targeted maybe winning 20 to 25% of the points. Not quite there. Although if you add on a win today and a win on Wednesday, then they're going to be very happy with that haul. Maybe a little bit optimistic. Their home form has been fantastic, which is why they were really disappointed that the Highlanders went and got the victory. Only time they've lost at home all year, and to quote Colin Elms, to a very bad team.
They would disagree, though I'm sure the table would say otherwise. Fosu trying to close down Hicks there, but calm there from Hicks as he flicks it out wide. And that'll go off the back of Nelson. Out for a throw for Rovers.
That undefeated home record was something that the Rovers were holding on to. It's like a really good marketing tool. It's like they've got those 7 games to sell the team to the lower mainland audience, and really, really disappointed that they didn't get anything from that.
And then along comes their rivals from across the Salish Sea. Smash and grab a 1-0 win. Shogoto doing Shogoto things.
That's what you want to do as a rival, though. Take something away from your rivals.
Absolutely. Afosu tries to bully his way into the area. He will get there. Needs some help, though. Turns, gets it over to Bartolillo. Cleared by Polisi. Marcello Polisi suffering no fools there. And Bartolillo will throw in. No, he'll leave it for Smith. Kill some time. Why not? Up by 1, approaching the half. You don't want to concede a late equalizer. Nothing like that goal before the break. Goal before the whistle to really change the flow. Flicked on and flicked out. Came off of a rover. It will be a late corner for the Highlanders.
And we've seen TSS really struggling with these corners. If you kind of look at the corner flag there, the wind definitely seems to have picked up, helping with the swirling in-swingers that they've been sending in. And if they can get delivery like they did for that first one, trouble here for TSS.
Highlanders not shy about flooding the box here. They've left 2 men back, 1 outside the area, everybody else in the 18-yard box. Goto's delivery is high for the far post, punched clear by Hicks.
Another great in-swinger right on the keeper.
Goto Nice little fake get around his man. Second cross. This will be high and long. No chance for Nelson there. And Rovers escape. Solid punch there by Hicks, right in the thick of the crowd.
Go-To has really impressed me. The 3 games that I've seen now, he definitely looks a player of quality. I mean, the way he's been banging the goals in as well. What is it, 4 goals in the last 6 games for the Highlanders, and he looks a real talent. If he does get a chance to go and play with Tacoma Stars, that's going to be fantastic for him. But you feel he can go even higher than that if he's in the right environment, just get the right development behind him.
Absolutely.
Did come through the J-League system, so obviously a lot of talent there.
And there's the flag going up for offside. It touched a Highlander, but they'll call it anyway.
TSS caught offside a lot so far today. It's the problem with having these fast guys. They play right on the line and right on the shoulders of these guys, so they're going to be off more than they're going to be on.
Van Hole will take his time here. We're about 90 seconds away from full time, plus stoppages. Van Hole goes long. Sturk and Afosu going for it. Intercepted cleanly by Bukas. Nelson can't get there. Back it goes by Panu. Bukas again looks long. Finds no one in a black kit. Just Heath and Goto. Curdy will let that run back to Vanhola. He'll go long for Bartolillo. Lets it go over his head. Well marked there by Papadinitz. Rovers looking for something here in the final 30 seconds of regular time. Heath with the header. Flicked on by Van Doorn. Nelson. Fosu. Pierce. Goes over the top. Afosu makes his run. Couldn't quite control this first touch there. Stayed on side though. Still time. Bartolillo. Looking for Afosu. He will find him. Right on the touchline. Back to Bartolillo. Cuts inside. Pierce skips the closing down of 2 Rovers, then gives it away cheaply, and it's Rovers on the counter. We've played the 45. Just stoppage time left. Van Doorn can't find it in his
here
feet.
Goes Verhoeven.
Verhoeven's got a sliver of space closed down by Heath. Couldn't clear it. Van Doorn, risky challenge there. Rovers come away with it. Over the top. Just wide. Van Hola stranded a bit there. He was indecisive about whether to go or go back. Ultimately, the shot goes wide. And what would have been an absolutely devastating counter for the Rovers to score during stoppage time in the first half.
That's the danger that they pose. They're just so fast. They don't need much of a chance. It's like Verhoeven just pounces on it. He is a guy, like he can get past guys no problem, but once it's like a Kakuta Mani syndrome. Once they stick the foot out and get the ball off him, he kind of isn't then sure what he needs to do.
So we've continued that analogy. He's going to get transferred for a King's ransom and come out ahead.
Yeah, he's going to go to some Columbus PDL team, I think.
We've played the 1 minute of stoppage time. That's the first half whistle. Victoria Highlanders 1, TSS Rovers 0 in the third and final game of the Wanda Fuca Plate Derby. Being played here at UVic Centennial Stadium on beautiful Vancouver Island. My name is Roturo, joined by AFTN's Michael McCall. Stick around, second half. We'll be coming to you after a short break. Welcome back to Centennial Stadium, University of Victoria, in beautiful Vancouver Island for the second half of Victoria Highlanders FC and TSS Rovers FC. My name is Roturo, joined on the call by AFTN's Michael McCall. Michael, 1-0 for the Highlanders after a first half. Plenty of pace between the two teams, only the one goal.
So far, yes. I think it's going to be unlikely to stay like this. Highlanders in particular are a team that give away a lot of second half goals, and TSS haven't been too far behind them. I mean, just looking at the stats, 17 goals given up in the second half by the Highlanders. Only 5 scored as well, so we saw in the second game between these two teams, TSS really ramped it up in the second half, turned it on. That's what they're going to be looking to do again. Only 2 outfield subs though left for them to bring on. One is Race Williams, who has only recently joined the team, but the other one is the BC Soccer Adult Player of the Year, Connor Hildebrand, so that's always a good guy to have on the bench.
Absolutely. Highlanders playing in their white kit, starting on our broadcast left. On the right side, our broadcast right in the black kit, TSS Rovers.
Interesting to see how TSS line up in this half. Verhoeven is looking to be on the left wing, or possibly a lone striker. Hard to tell right now.
You can see there is an attacking three sort of coalescing there. It almost looks like a 4-3-3.
It kind of is. McMillan's really pushed forward, and then Dillon's on the break here.
Still a 4-4-2 for the, or a 4-5-1 or 4-4-2, depending on where Afosu's playing for the Highlanders. But now Dillon tries to get it in. Little deflection. Benhola will pick it up.
For me, Dillon is going to be one of the key guys for TSS this half. He is a guy that has quality, can definitely get past defenders and make things happen. Hasn't had a lot of chances to do that this season. Got an injury really early on, first or second game, not long back, but really want to show what he can do.
Appears with his arm draped all over, and there will be a free kick there. Referee looking, I guess, to play advantage. Seeing none, it'll be Polisi now. From Mateo to Marcelo. The Policies. And to the back line it goes, out wide. Papadinets chasing this down. Trying to get their head of Bartolillo. It will instead go out for a goal kick.
We didn't see a lot of Papadinets in the first half, but he is a guy that can also get forward. Has a national title to his name with UBC before making the switch to Thomson Rivers, who are hosting this year's Nationals. So a couple of the guys on both sides are from Thomson Rivers, so they're going to get a chance to be on the national stage later this year, November.
Nelson jockeying for position there. Bartolillo waiting on the outside. Polisi comes away with it. And this is now Varela. It's Polisi. Well brought down there. This is McMillan. McMillan puts it low on target. Benhola is there. Saw a bit of space, had a go. As long as you get your shot on target, you've done something right.
It's one of the things from TSS this year. They've got players that are not afraid to have a shot at goal, which I like to see. Sometimes, though, they don't always make the best decision.
Especially at this level, there's no harm in buying a ticket, seeing what happens.
Verhoeven's one of those guys. He has the confidence that he feels he can score from anywhere. Unfortunately, he can't always score from anywhere, and there has been times where he has gone for the shot instead of like laying it off, which was the better option. But they're young guys. It's something that they need to learn. Will Cromack and Colin Elms, and it's the same with Dave Do here, they don't get a lot of time to work with these guys. Then they go back to the environment that they've come from, and sometimes the coaching's just different and they want them to do different things, play differently, so it's very hard.
Papadinets there with a foot in. Second ball picked up by the Highlanders. This is Smith inside. Van Doorn puts it low for Smith to run onto. He'll get there. First time cross off the body. And Varela does well to buy the throw in there.
A little kick at the end there, so it's going to be a free kick to TSS Rovers. And one thing which TSS do not want to do is to lose a centre-back, because they really don't have anyone else that can play that position.
Pleading his case there is Smith. The referee's not impressed. Varela is staying down.
Hitting the turf as well, not a good sign. Hopefully it's something he can run off. They did move Marcello Polisi into the centre-back position last Saturday when Andre Bears got sent off. Bears is suspended for 2 games now for violent conduct. I think TSS are trying to appeal it to get down to 1 game to try and get him back for their last game on Wednesday, but if not, that will be the end of Andre Bears' season.
Varela standing and moving now. Trying to walk it off. So far seems to be staying upright. Papadinets. Back to Varela. As they begin to focus here on the left side of the pitch. Varela looks long to switch.
Lovely ball.
Does indeed. Wide open on the wings. Polisi now. Sends it back. Over the top it goes. With pace. Not enough pace to get there ahead of Benholo. Bobbled it a bit. Comes away with it. This is Goto. Inside to Pierce.
And Rovers are going to be disappointed they haven't tested the keeper more here. He hasn't played for Highlanders this season. Talking to them before the game, the plan was to really kind of pepper him with shots, and it's just not happened.
Benholo under pressure now, though. Does well with the on-rushing Davidson, I believe that was.
Looks very calm at the back there.
Don't know how calm I would be if I had a guy like Davidson bearing down on me in full flight. This is why I'm not a professional athlete, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, that and many other reasons.
For me, it's the skill.
Yes, the skill, the physical ability, the game IQ, I'm sure
and
it's
age.
Yeah.
Well, on my part.
I'm sure it's there somewhere, but it's well buried. Forward now, Fosu. Van Doorn looks out wide. There's Smith on the overlap. Ball doesn't go to him, though.
Smith had lots of room there if they'd found him. He was wide open.
But Bartillo does well to win it back off of Varela, but Varela recovers and clears. Davidson with 1 touch. Slicing tackle there.
Good
Van
tackle.
Doorn. Blocks the attempted through ball as well from Polisi. Papadinets. Varela there banks it off of. I believe that was Pierce.
Rovers giving the ball away there on the edge of the box. It's something they've done all season, and it has cost them. They've had a lot of giveaways. It's something in the early stages that was put down to kind of just not cohesiveness with the defence, just getting to know each other. It had kind of dropped out of their game, but the last couple of games we've started to see it a little bit more again.
That was Bartolillo who was on the right side there earlier, not Pierce. Brought down by Heath. Goto will keep it in play. Banks it off of Dillon. And Highlanders will regroup. McCurdy has a look. He's got time. They've been loving this long ball, and they go with it again. Nelson's waiting for it. Back to Bartolillo. Inside for Van Doorn. Well marked there. Coming back was McMillan. And Polisi now goes ahead. And it's no fouls as the referee.
Nice little knockaway from Van Doorn there.
Fosu out wide. 1-on-1 with Panu. Panu does very well there to get a foot in and clear. Panu again will just thump that away. Panu coming on in the first half.
Solomon Constant is the guy that's now out wide. He's just come on at half time.
He has indeed. So Fosu's day is done. Constance is now on in his place.
I was away to say that he was doing well, then I saw it was number 9. I was like, wait a minute. But Constant did really well to keep the ball in there. And then unfortunately had lost it, but well cut out here by the Highlanders. Stuart Heath taking it forward, but loses it.
Still Rovers as they try to push their way through. Highlanders line pushing up. Polisi will try his way through. Heath steps up. Not Heath, McCurdy, excuse me. And this will be Goto to thump it long. Now it's Van Doorn. Tracked down masterfully by McMillan. There's another crunching tackle by Van Doorn. This one, though, will earn him the ire of the referee, and the game's first card is a yellow. Shown to Iski Van Doorn.
Yeah, ref's kept his cards in the pocket for this long. You kind of thought as soon as that tackle went in that was going to be the first booking of the afternoon. We have seen it. Is the floodgates going to open now in a fierce local derby? We'll soon see.
For his part, Van Doorn isn't doing everything to throw in some harder tackles as the second half kicks off. Short free kick here. Cross is blocked by Constant. Out for a throw. Still all the players forward treating it as an extended set piece here, our Rovers. And here comes the long throw. Cleared.
Poor throw there.
Nelson gives it right back. As well to win it away, though, and Van Doorn is going to have to hurry. Cross is blocked right back. Across the base of goal. McCurdy will put the overhead kick. And Van Doorn will thump it clear at last. Awkward clear all around, but still goes clear, and the threat is ended. Though still plenty of Rovers players forward as they push higher and higher. Staying above the midfield stripe, now they retreat. As Bartolillo sends a ball long for Nelson. Sturrock will chase this. Can't get there. Head to Panu.
Panu did really well in that break there. They'd be disappointed when he played the ball in the centre. There wasn't anyone close enough to take advantage of that.
Bartolillo closed down, gets rid of it. This is Smith. Looks over the top. Sturrock will run. Can he get there? No, he can't. Well marked out there by Varela, excuse me. And now with some fancy footwork, Papadinets goes right up the middle. Bartolillo tracking back. McCurdy under pressure. Dangerous back pass if he got that wrong. Davidson would have had about a 20-yard run in on goal unopposed. But instead his Highlanders coming away with it. Goto tried to go over the top there. Clumsy recovery, advantage played by the referee. As Polisi goes up the middle. Cleared away.
Verhoeven tried to cut inside there to make himself have room, and that was a great chance, cutting open this Highlanders defence, and that's what TSS are needing to do in this half. Right now, Highlanders look fairly comfortable because the Rovers playing the final third is lacking that final delivery.
Little flick there by Sturrock. Pierce tried to get there. Ultimately goes back to Hicks, and he will deal with it. We're also seeing, Michael, that Rovers are pushing even higher, and we're not even 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the half here. They are really pressing the issue.
They really want this.
Up the middle, great ball. Loses control, though. I'll be up for a throw.
Players have been talking about this game all week, and it was the talk in the ferry ride over as well. So Colin Elms and Will Cromax made sure that the players know what's at stake, and they want to win a trophy.
As Dave Dew was saying before the match that it's been all the talk in the vans during the road trips for the Highlanders. And while the locals knew all about it, it didn't take long for the new players this year, the out-of-towners, to understand that this meant something. Polisi dancing his way through, just gets tripped up by his own legs, but ultimately the foul is called just outside the box. He did enough to draw the foul. Excellent footwork there by Matteo Polisi.
I didn't really see a foul there, I have to say. I thought he kind of tripped himself.
He did. There was a little tug of the jersey just before he got going. He tries the quick free kick.
It was ridiculous to even try that.
And it looks like the referee is going to say no, play is dead.
Well, that was lucky for TSS, because that was a complete waste of what should be a good opportunity. Because both the Polisi brothers have a sweet strike and can definitely score from here. It looks like Matteo Polisi is going to be the one that takes this. But Ryan Dillon is also a guy that scored a number of free kicks for SFU over the years. He's standing over the ball.
He'll move away now. There's McMillan.
Actually, it's Varela that was standing over the ball, so he's moved away as well. So it's going to be Matteo Polisi here that takes it.
5-man wall for the Highlanders. Targets on either side. He takes it, hits the wall.
Not much better than his first attempt. that didn't count.
So he does retain possession, and after a little bit of a stutter there, Van Doorn will try and go through the center. He breaks 2 tackles. Can't get through the third, though he does poke it forward, and he will win a foul out of it. Van Doorn, taking the bulldozer approach through midfield, gets a free kick for his efforts.
He definitely looks a good find for the Highlanders. Done really well since he's come into the team. 7 games so far, 4 shots in that.
I'm just thinking about what they want to do here with this set piece. They are sending people forward.
Second goal for Highlanders is going to kill this game off, you have to feel for them. It doesn't look like TSS have 2 goals in them right now.
Sent long. Hicks will punch. Bad free kick attempt by McCurdy. Hicks equal to it. Now this is Smith. Smith goes to the byline, can't control it, off the corner flag, and out for a corner. Did manage to get a touch there off the Rovers defender, Papadinets. And now back to the set pieces. The bane of the Rovers, as we talked about in the first half here, Michael.
Yeah, and you talked earlier as well about how this place can be quite a wind tunnel, and the wind seems to have picked up for the second half as well, and that is going to cause some trouble. A few more in-swingers from Goto right on Hicks, and we'll see what happens, but he was excellent with his deliveries in the first half. Moving the photographer out of the way.
All well and good to get that good shot until you're blocking the path to a corner. On the ground, it rolls in! It's a scruffy shot, it doesn't matter, it's in! Heath has got it! Second goal for the Highlanders is Heath's!
Terrible, terrible marking again at a corner from TSS Rovers. Scrappy finish, but they all count. Hicks didn't see it until too late, but never should he have been allowed to get a shot off there. Just very poor defending.
Marking was certainly suspect.
But a fantastic delivery again from Goto. I mean, he's been excellent whipping these corners, and they've clearly seen that that is a weakness in this TSS team, and it continues to be that way, and it's going to really infuriate Colin Elms. His team, 1 goal from getting back in this. Now it looks a long, long way back. Half an hour to go. Can they find 2 goals? It looks a tall order.
2 goals are all they need as well. A draw will win the Rovers the plate. Papadinets, watched by Bartolillo. Polisi. Michele Polisi goes out wide as where Verhoeven is. Takes a step, goes back. Varela. 1-touch ball there. Smith will just bully his way over, and Pierce will go forward. Finds Sturrock. He's one-on-one here. And there's a run coming from Paddy Nelson. Sturrock just keeps it himself, keeps going, crosses.
Trying to find Constant at the back of the box there. He was wide open.
He's calling for it now. There's the ball. Well clear. He was winding up for a volley there. Was Constant. That was a crucial intervention.
Constant's getting a lot of room out there.
Lovely little touch there going in. It's Pierce. Although he will foul his man in his attempt to get the ball. Rovers will gladly take that as the pressure is relieved.
And Highlanders are going to find a lot of space now because TSS have to go for it. They have to push men forward. They have been weak defensively all season, so leaving themselves short at the back's not going to help that either. And the way the Highlanders are playing, they're really kind of sensing blood now, I think, and looking for this 3rd goal that will definitely kill this tie off.
Silverware on the line. The most attainable one for either team, and right now it's Highlanders looking for their 2nd win of 3 to claim it outright. Paddy Nelson tried to get a touch on it there.
Sturrock's causing a lot of problems up there just now for that TSS defence. His movement, you can tell he's an older player, you can tell he's got the experience and the class, and he's really given Varela and Bukis a run around in the middle of the park.
Those Jedi mind tricks working yet again for Blair Sturrock. Deep throw here for the Rovers. Polisi tries to flick it inside, can't get past Goto, and this will be Pierce. Back to the 2nd goal scorer, Heath. Back to the goalkeeper, Venhola. Patrick Nelson with the goal in the first half. Heath with the goal here in the 2nd. Facing the Highlanders to a 2-0 lead. We are in the 63rd minute. Centennial Stadium at UVic. Heath will shepherd that back to Venhola. He'll send it long. Constant's waiting for it, but it won't make much sense to go vaulting out of play to get it. Throw to the Rovers. And a chat here upcoming. The referee's seen something off the ball.
I think it's just an injury to Jonas Smith. He seemed to take a bit of a knock as they went through there, possibly a stray arm catching him on the side of the head.
Seems all right to continue, or at least the referee is satisfied that he will be okay to continue. Goto. Good searching ball. Unfortunately, nobody to search for. Van Doorn does well to win that back in midfield. He's got a step now. Sturrock takes it over the top. Nelson does get there. First touch is decent. To Pierce. Looking for Bartolillo. Can't keep it in. A little back and forth there between the attacking midfield. Did well to really find seams there in the Rovers' defense. Unable to keep it in play, though. The Rovers will gladly go the other way with this. Panu Polisi. That will be out for a Rovers throw.
The thing with Rovers this year, when they've gone down one goal, they still keep their heads up and they look interested, but when they've gone down by more than one, their heads have dropped a little bit. Today, they still seem to feel that they can get back in this, but another goal for the Highlanders, and they're going to know it's kind of game over.
Bartolillo looks in the middle for Sturrock, finds him, chips it out wide. That's where Smith is. That's also where Papadinitz is. Bundled over there was Dylan. Just wondering why there's no call. And referee gives the throw the other way. Saw it wrong the first time, he says. Changes it. Substitution coming up here for both teams, each sending in a player.
Looks like Connor Hildebrand coming in for Matteo Polisi for TSS. Like for like switch. Hildebrand can play as a good attacking mid, central mid, defensive mid.
And substitutions here for the Highlanders. It looks like Pierce will be coming out in the midfield to put in a decent shift.
Oh, it's a double sub.
It is indeed. And it looks like Bartolillo will also be going out. So reinforcements here on the center and right side of the midfield. As Highlanders look to keep this game under control. Bartolillo in no hurry to get off the pitch here.
Not seeing the numbers because we're on the other side of the pitch here.
Nothing like the glare on the white kits making it difficult to get a good read there.
I want to say it's number 19.
I think you're right on that.
Aidan Moore.
So it'll be more... And that will be going the way of the Highlanders. Just waiting for official word here on the substitutions, but for now, it will be Smith standing over this free kick. It'll be Cody Geisbers.
Local lad.
He is. He just got signed up from the PCSL side, so an academy graduate here getting some minutes.
And it's good to see that. I mean, this is what these leagues and these teams are all about, is giving the local guys some chances.
Cleared there by Rovers. Not far, though. Heath stays with it. Constant. Van Doorn. Both Highlanders players going for it. And offside, though, is Patrick Nelson. Well offside there.
TSS trying to get on with this game quickly, but they're being stretched a lot at the back now as they try and push forward. Highlanders look to be leaving two men up the pitch as well, so they really have to be careful defensively and not just get a rush of blood to their head. There's still time to get back in this.
Smith sends it forward to Sturrock, one of those two forwards, battling hard. Lucas able to get the better of him there, and the ball is cleared. Only as far as Goto. Show Goto. Playing at fullback today. Patrick Nelson. Solomon Constant. Goes right around Panu. Puts it low. Flicked on. Nelson all alone. Off the post. Hits the far post. Sturrock follows up. Off the near post.
Can't get much closer than that. Deflected wide for a corner. Looked like it was going in. Hicks was scrambling on both of those efforts. TSS hanging on here.
Not exactly solid chances for the Highlanders on either attempt, but chances nonetheless as they've come so close to putting a dagger in this game.
And another chance for them to punish TSS with a corner here.
Goto's delivery has been stellar today. He takes this corner, near post. Sturrock flicks it on. The net was not where he thought it would be. Would have been great if the net had been moved over about 10 feet.
I think that's the worst corner Goto has sent in this afternoon. But, I mean, he's been fantastic with all the rest of them. And Sturrock is looking to try and nick one at the near post, but not sure where the goal was.
If you're going to send in a bad corner up 2-0 in the 69th minute.
That's the time to do it, yeah.
That's not too bad.
Now, Dylan's trying to use the length of the pitch here out wide. They're trying to find him.
And it will be Dylan here on the left. He's going one-on-one with Smith, and he'll beat him. Puts the cross in. It's high. First time volley saved. The rebound saved again. What a double save by Van Hola. Hands on head. He can't believe it. Ken Davidson. He won't get a third bite at it. Away with Heath And now Sturck the other way, tries a little heel. He's set up Nelson. Patrick Nelson 1-on-2. Tries to get around. He has Sturck, though, on the through ball. He'll get there. First time cross. Looking for Nelson. Through the defenders. One touch. Sets up. Can't get through.
So let's go back and talk about that double save.
Oh,
there.
my goodness.
That was fantastic. From a guy that hasn't been playing for the Highlanders, just comes in because Norgrove suspended, and two fantastic stops from Davidson, who's been deadly in the 6-yard box so far this season for TSS. He's going to wonder how he didn't put one of those chances away, but TSS are getting stretched as they push forward yet again.
Davidson had Venhola dead to rights, you would have thought. And Venhola, 2 fantastic saves. Double saves are a hallmark of a Juan de Fuca plate derby.
True. Marco Carducci came up with it to win it for the Whitecaps in 2014.
And will this be enough to preserve a win here for the Highlanders? It'll be the first time, win or lose, it'll be the first time the Highlanders will see the trophy presented on home soil. All the other presentations of the Juan de Fuca plate have been done so on the mainland. And there have been some very antsy and eager Islanders, myself included, who have been waiting to see that plate hoisted in Victoria. Venhola. How confident must he feel after that double save?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. If you've come into a game, you've not been playing, you come up with a fantastic double save like that. It's the kind of stuff that goes into Juan de Fuca plate folklore, as you said.
Absolutely.
We still talk about Carducci's one over in Vancouver. There wasn't many folk there that day to see it, but those that were still rave about it. And no video footage either. At least he has some video footage to show for it.
Absolutely. We still talk about that Carducci double save as well.
We had that as AFTN's save of the year. A little bit self-indulgent, because not many folk had seen it, but it was that good.
Well, I mean, you have to recognize quality when you see it. Because now here comes Dylan. Nice curl to it, but a little too much height. He's finding the seams. Dylan has done well in the second half to start picking apart the usually solid Jonas Smith at right back. And he's finding the seams, just not the target.
Yeah, he's getting his eye in, he's getting into it, but he hasn't got much time to make this pay. But he seems to be the guy that if something's going to happen for TSS Rovers, it's going to come through Dylan. Davison blocking that kick out there, and
again,
Hildebrand as well.
No fear whatsoever. Hildebrand's been quiet since coming in, though you would expect that from a D-mid.
It's been a tough adjustment for Hildebrand. He came into this TSS team very highly touted, but trying to find his ideal place in the team, it hasn't been great, and then he missed at the start of the season when he was still playing for Aldergrove in the Provincial Cup run.
And Hull will claim that.
Hildebrand's a player. He holds himself to really high esteem, and he wants to do so well. And sometimes I feel he maybe puts a little bit too much pressure on himself to try and do well, and then takes it really personal when he doesn't.
Nelson, who's done well in these challenges, not the tallest player on the pitch, but he's done well in these aerial duels. Constant now, sliding in, gets a piece of it, not enough. Last touch came off the Rovers defender, says the referee. And the Highlanders throw deep. They'll think about this.
Highlanders just happy to kill the game off a little bit and just waste a bit of time. Quite right.
Van Doorn. Now in the center of the park, this is Geisbers. A little touch there from Moore. Came on as a substitute. And Sturck tries to go around the outside. Nothing happening there. And Dylan almost the recipient there, but a charging forward McCurdy. Foul called there on McCurdy as he hauls down McMillan. Millen looks forward. Millen playing a little bit deeper as well. Perhaps trying to find something on the counter. Although they will build up here. Polisi. Marcello Polisi, the only Polisi left on the pitch.
Rovers needing someone to get some spark going for them, and it's hard to see where it's going to come from just now. Verhoeven's had a quiet game as well. He's usually been their guy that's been their difference maker.
And right now, Highlanders absolutely content. Slow the game down, break up the flow. Anything to tick those seconds off the clock. Victoria Highlanders FC 2, TSS Rovers FC 0. As we enter the 74th minute of this, the third game in the Wanda Fuca Plate Derby. Great to have you here watching this. My name is Roturo, joined by AFTN Canada's Michael McCall. And up the left goes Nelson, tries to put a ball in for Constant, who is offside.
Constant's been lively since he came on at half-time. Hasn't played a lot this year. 210 minutes going into this one from 8 matches. Mostly used as a substitute.
And speaking of substitutes, Nelson will be coming off here.
Nelson's had a good game for the Highlanders.
Absolutely.
I think TSS will be glad to see the back of him.
A goal on the day is not a bad return at all. Patrick Nelson. And now, the big man, the imposing defensive midfield presence has been restored for the Highlanders. Dylan. Inside. Papadanitz. Constant. Down there. Buzzing in midfield there. It's McMillan. And Godel not able to get past his man there. In comes Van Doorn with a head full of steam, and Godel comes away with it. Tracking back there with a move himself. As they battle on the left, Constant can't quite outpace.
Highlanders not giving the Rovers any time on the ball at all.
Right in the middle. If nothing is going through, it's going to have to be the wings. All that wide space you talked about, Michael, it's where the salvation is going to have to be found here for Rovers. But even once they get there, suffocating presence from the wide midfielders and fullbacks. As Heath.
And the Rovers have looked better heading up the left wing, but the ball's just not getting out there to Dylan at the moment, so it's a bit closed down in the middle. Gindo's been excellent in the few minutes that he's been on. He's really put himself about, dispossessing, playing the ball forward. Definitely looks an imposing force in the middle of the park. I don't think TSS have any players that can really answer that just now. One offensive sub left in Race Williams, so this may be the team that sees the game out for TSS.
No rush at all for Smith. 77th minute. More than happy to I'm sure take very careful and deliberate looks at this throw. And Stork fights along the byline. He's kept it in. Van Doorn can't get there. And poking past Geisbers there. And it's a lovely steal, and away come Rovers.
It's a 3-on-2 break here.
There's the ball through. Heath is caught. Goes down. And is he called for it? Which way does the foul go? It is going to go against Heath. I'm sure he'll be happy to concede and take the yellow there. Tactical foul on the break.
McMillan was wanting a red card, but I think he knew he had lost the ball and was then trying to just get something out of it. But another wasted opportunity for TSS. That was a 3-on-2 break. They really should have done better, get the ball played out to one of the wingers that was breaking.
Shows that there is still fight left in these Rovers. They aren't going anywhere.
Rovers' best chance of getting into it is going to be on a quick breakaway and use the pace that they've got. We haven't seen it much this afternoon. It was something that they had planned for going into this game, but Highlanders have done very well to cope with it.
Looks like a 3-man wall there for the Highlanders.
I'd watch Varela here. He's been the guy that they've tried to find from these floated free kicks.
They look up. They find McMillan. Ooh, and he finds waiting Heath. Only as far as Polisi. Goes low to the left. Davidson's waiting there. On the overlaps, Papadinitz. Davidson. Puts the cross in low. Deflects it off of, I believe, Dylan. And that'll go up for a goal kick. 78th minute. Van Hola taking his time over this goal kick. Up 2-0. As the Lakeside boys incite the crowd into a cheer here. Plenty of reasons to cheer for the Highlanders faithful. Goal from Patrick Nelson in the first half. Heath in the second. Bit of a scrambly free kick, or corner kick, excuse me. And then the scruffy shot found its way in.
They've looked the better team, deserved 2-0 in the lead. Could have had a few more, really.
Moore finds Gindo. Gindo looks long. Constant will run to it. Can get there ahead of Panu. He will. Panu clip it clear, only as far as Goto. Takes a step, fakes the cross. Now does he put it in? Nope, still has it. Still Goto gives it to Gindo. Gindo gives it back, looking for the run of Van Doorn. Couldn't find it. But in the end, the clattering of legs, and Gindo comes away with it anyway. Van Doorn.
Gindo's just bossing the middle of the park here.
Constant. Stays in the area, trying to battle through, but that is well defended there by Polisi, who's come back and helped out his backline. Polisi does very well there. Great energy shielding the backline. And the long cross over the head. And no Rover will be able to get to that ahead of Heath. Heath on a yellow. And the way this is played out, definitely a yellow he's probably going to take 9 times out of 10 every time that play happens. Moore pokes through, finds Sturrock. Can Sturrock turn? No, well muscled off the ball there. Good work there by Varela.
And the wind's really picked up again, and it's behind TSS Rovers' back, so they need to be trying to pepper some shots in here on the Highlanders' goal, and they've just not been doing that all game. 10 minutes to go, so they have to kind of throw everything at this now.
Van Doorn well advanced from midfield here. Putting some high pressure on. Now Heath is in a foot race. Around the corner. He does well to get a foot in. Does not draw the foul. And that is going nowhere other than out for a corner.
Hildebrand, not one of the quickest players on the team. If it had been one of the faster guys, you feel that he would have been in there, but they get a corner out of it. They really have to kind of make one of these pay. Varela going up again. He's a guy to watch in the box.
There it is. Waiting for that was the youngster Giesbrecht.
Keep talking about Varela being the guy to watch in the box. The ball's never got anywhere near him, and every single time that I've mentioned that. This delivery in general from TSS today has been poor.
Targets are all well and good, but if the service never happens, then it's a bunch of people standing around waiting for nothing. There's a substitution happening here. It will be Constant coming off.
A little bit of a surprise. Hasn't been on that long. Maybe took a knock.
And it will be Bobby Eng coming on.
Constant was doing well out wide. You have to feel he's must have had a knock to come off, unless they're just wanting to give Eng some minutes.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that one myself. We'll assume that the coaches know what they're doing.
From a Rovers point of view, they'll be quite glad that he has gone off, because he was causing problems out in the left wing there.
Van Doorn offside there. Tried to deal with the Sturck through ball. Ing is taking up that position out on the far left in an attacking role, so it's effectively a like for like. And that is a poor pass, and that'll be intercepted by Moore. Moore tried to get around Varela, and that'll be a shoulder barge and a yellow card for Varela.
It was a good foul, because if he hadn't, he was away there, but disappointing giveaway again from TSS.
And like we saw with Heath earlier, you take that foul because otherwise it's a golden opportunity in the making.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing for TSS, it breaks the game up, and that's not what they're wanting and needing this game to flow. They're needing to try and get some quick breaks going. This just plays perfectly into the Highlanders' hands. They'll waste a lot of time here doing it.
Plenty of targets in the box. No wall shown here by Rovers. Delivery from McCurdy is up. Finds Eng at the far edge of the area. Nothing happens. Smith can't get there. Swing and a miss there. Giesbrecht can't get there. Van Doorn. First time ball, just over. He saw daylight, did Jonas Smith. Had to go. Why not? You're up 2-0 with 8 minutes to go. Couldn't find the target.
TSS playing it out from the back. A little surprising, but they're a team that don't like to go for the long ball. They want to play a passing game. They've struggled against teams that do play the long ball. In the first game of the season, Calgary, they were 3 goals down. They went to a long ball approach and ended up winning 4-3. They seem to be a team that can't defend it. And Highlanders have played a lot of long balls today. but ultimately it was the set pieces that's been their TSS Rovers' downfall.
Now Rovers pressing high for something. They do force the back pass, and will end up winning a second fall, but Gindo is there. Now, however, out wide is Verhoeven.
A Rovers goal now is going to set up a fantastic climax to this game.
Varela. Hildebrand. McMillan tries the little 1-2. Just a wall of white jerseys.
Yeah, trying to walk it into the net here, and it's not going to happen against this Highlanders defence. Keeping the pressure on, though.
Tries to get around Gindo. He will. But all he'll find is a waiting Venola. And Venola will cover. Gladly sit on that for a few more seconds. And throw it right up to Smith. Back to McCurdy.
If the Highlanders hold on here to win their second Juan de Fuca plate, it's going to be the most comfortable of the two plates that they've won.
Absolutely.
It was a barnstormer when they won it in 2015.
Always like winning a trophy in front of your home fans. Highlanders 6 minutes away, plus stoppages from that. Sturck was one of the members of the Highlanders to lift the plate last time it came out.
Yeah, only player on both teams to have been a previous Juan de Fuca plate winner.
Smith to Moore. Stays in, but easily dealt with and cleared. Papadenitz now. Tries to go past Gindo and does with an easy ball. Gindo dives in. Can't find a target there at all. And Rovers will be happy to take this down the left. Curdy does well to shoulder. And that was always going out.
Again, Hildebrand showing he isn't the paciest guy. He's not a winger. He's finding himself out on the wing there. He's a guy that needs to come through the middle. And final substitution coming up here for TSS Rovers. Race Williams coming on. And it's Zach Verhoeven that's going off. And he's their talismanic winger. Really, really quiet today. We spoke about how he can drift out of games when things aren't happening for him. We've seen that. And a big chance for Race Williams. He only joined the team last weekend. Has been playing in the Fraser Valley League.
He's got 5 minutes to make some magic happen there and abouts.
Had experience over in Italy as well. Also plays his football at Douglas College. So let's see if he can make any magic happen. Someone's got a chance to go into Juan de Fuca plate folklore here if they can get TSS back in this.
They take the free kick long, looking for targets. They won't find any. Hildebrand again trying to muscle his way through. Won't get there. And Heath up to Moore. Moore gives that away cheaply, though. Rovers will prepare to attack again. Polisi. Panu. Crosses into the area. It's a lovely-looking ball. Some of the best service we've seen all afternoon from TSS Rovers.
Still no, not to a TSS man, though. Oh, and Gindo just
Gindo
bowling through.
Gindo doesn't care. He runs straight through 4 players. He will just miss it. Gindo thought he had it twice. Sends it shallow, missing the net on the second attempt. Gindo barges his way through 4 defenders, shrugging off tackles left and right.
That was a goal of the year candidate, not just for the Highlanders, but for all of PTL if that had gone in. Fantastic play by Gindo.
Hicks equal to the task, though, denying the goal. Still a sliver of hope here for Rovers.
Gindo's still not got back. I think that's taken a lot out of him.
Crosses it, flicked clear by Giesbert.
Oh.
And a chance at the edge of the area, is skied high. And he stares to the heavens and goes, oh boy, that needed to be better.
Kerman Panu there wants that one back. A perfect ball. It's one of the few chances that they've had an open man in the box all afternoon and just skied. I think they might find it on the ferry when they get back.
It is a long ride home on the ferry, though, when you're losing on the road.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to travelling with the team back to Vancouver for this one. It was very quiet on the way here. I can't imagine it being much quieter on the way back, but I think it might be.
Sturck over the top. Looking at the run of Van Doorn. He's found Van Doorn. Van Doorn is swarmed, though, immediately. Closed down. Panu sends him outside. Eng is waiting. Back down the line. Goto. Into the middle. And then Gindo. Will he go on another run? No, there's tip it to Sturck. Sturck, though, will have a look. Sturck! Saved again by Hicks! Sturck again! What a save, Hicks!
He just wants to get into the double save.
Well, you're not a member of the Juan de Fuca Plate Club unless you got a double save to your name, and Hicks gets a glove on that one, pushing out Sturck. He'll be out for a corner. Approaching the final minute of the game. And Highlanders They look like they would be happy with a third goal.
Yeah, they want to kill this off. I mean, Andrew Hicks, he's just coming out of his senior year at Trinity Western. He's a guy that's looking for a club. He's put himself in the shop window. His highlight reel to send to clubs is going to be magnificent, and there's another 2 to add to that today.
Man of the match announced early here. He's going to number 5, Heath. Scored the second goal. Been a great presence along the back line. Good shout for man of the match there, Michael.
I would maybe have given it to Go-To because he's been the guy that his delivery's been good. He's got forward well, but yeah, it's hard to knock what he's done as well.
Approaching, we are in the final minute, regulation time. Only stoppages left. Great run down the line here from Dylan. Looks to get past Smith. Nice footwork. Ultimately can't control it. Poked clear of the area, and this is Van Doorn. Goes for Sturrock along the ground. Sturrock, he's got space now, and Sturrock has more than a little space. Closed down. Circles. Tackled. Still retains possession. Goes down to the corner flag. Moore will run to it, and he'll just kill some time here at the corner flag. Sturrock, lovely weighted ball to the corner.
I mean, Sturrock, for a man his age, I know 35's not that old, but I mean, he's shown some stamina today out in this heat. Full of running still.
Even gives Hicks a little bit of a how you do, as he'll claim that and launch a desperate counterattack. Heath is under pressure here. He'll send it back to Van Hola.
Into stoppage time now. Not sure how much to go, but you're maybe thinking just 3 minutes.
I would think even less, maybe even only 2. There was a couple of stoppages for injury. Maybe 3 is a safer shout, but it's Ing now. Van Doorn. And there is the call. It is indeed 3 minutes for stoppages. So right on the money there, Michael.
If TSS are going to do anything, it has to be from this break and then just try and go for a killer from the kickoff. But you'd think it was them that's winning 2-0, the way that they're just knocking the ball about here.
They're looking for something, a way through perhaps, as Papadinets. Now Dylan goes back, nearly gives it away to Van Doorn, who's lurking. Polisi tries the right side. Floats it out right. And this is a dangerous-looking ball, but can't keep it in play. And the time ticks away. Far too fast if you're a Rovers supporter. Far too slow if you're a Highlanders supporter. Plate is gleaming in the sun as the clouds part a little bit more. It's been a gorgeous day as well.
It's wonderful.
Can't get much better than a Sunday afternoon on the pitch. Sun shining, 2 local clubs in a derby match. Silverware on the line. Roturo and Michael McCall here in the booth. This has been a great game. Great having you in the booth too, Michael. It's been a pleasure.
I really enjoyed this today. And if you haven't had a chance to get out to see either of these teams yet this season, there's still an opportunity. For TSS Rovers, they've got one final home game left this Wednesday against Seattle Sounders. They're going to want to finish their season with a bang.
And if you're a Highlander supporter, Friday against Seattle Sounders, a difficult opponent to end the season on. But it will promise to be a good match nonetheless, as Ing does well to keep that in.
Rovers will have tied them out on Wednesday, so that might be another 3 points for you guys.
We'll take it. We will gladly take it. Anytime you beat up a Cascadian foe, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
True, and defeat today means that TSS Rovers will finish bottom of the conference in their first season. They were hoping not to. A win today would have pulled them level on points with the Highlanders, but goal difference would have had them ahead.
And that's it. That's the final whistle. 2-0 for the Highlanders. The Juan de Fuca plate will stay on Vancouver Island. Goals from Nelson and Heath stake the men in white to their second Juan de Fuca plate. The Lakeside boys are already out there ready to award the plate.
It's going to be disappointing for TSS. They came full of confidence, just didn't have a chance to show what they've got, and I think they'll feel bad about their performance. Booker's down getting treatment as well. He was a bit touch and go for today, so I mean he's done well to get through this. Forced into it with there being no centre backs, but great win for Highlanders, well deserved. Congratulations, back to back Juan de Fuca plate winners.
The tartan-clad table now at midfield. All the flags of British Columbia and the Lakeside boys. Players do their handshakes. McCurdy will eventually come over with the team to receive the Wanda Fuca plate. Ted Godwin of the Lakeside Boys, the honorary presenter. You couldn't have asked for much better for this if you're a Highlander supporter. A lovely day, lovely results. The season on the whole has not been the best. Openly admitted by Dave Duge before the game, but he has to be happy with the result, 2-0.
A lot of folk will watch it and think, oh, it's just a play, it's provided by the supporters, but it's what this level's all about. You're playing for something. 24 supporters put money in to get this plate back in 2013. I was one of them. And I'm just proud to see that it was rekindled this year.
This is why supporter-created trophies, you think of this, you think of the Cascadia Cup, you think of the Voyageurs Cup. It's a token of how strong and how passionate support is for soccer at all levels, and how you can turn that support into something truly wonderful, like a derby match that we saw today.
Totally. And I mean, with what Highlanders do in Victoria and what TSS are trying to do over on the mainland, I just hope that people come out and support the teams a little bit more. It's great to see these teams doing it. They're trying to develop players. They're wanting to get a lot of local guys in as well. TSS have gone for their only Canadian policy. They may have to review that next year because they try to get most of the guys from BC. I think they're wanting to cast a bit of a wider net next year.
Well, I certainly can't fault them for their ambitions. Talking before the match, the coaches did say that they do admire what is being done in the Canadian pyramid, such as it is, to try and boost that level. Under no illusions about the standard of play in Canada at this current time, but the aspiration is there to create a strong footballing nation.
Well, I mean, the chance, not just this year, but next year as well, with the Canadian Premier League teams coming in, this is a chance for these guys to put themselves in the shop window. You want to try and impress the teams that's coming in that you can get a pro deal. A lot, if not most of these guys are still at college. So, I mean, they haven't even thought what they want to do yet for a pro deal. But some of them finishing their senior year, just a shame there's not anywhere really for them to go right now. And the PDL, it should be open, the Voyageurs Cup, it should be open for these PDL teams to get in and to play.
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say no to seeing a qualifying round of the Voyageurs Cup, especially now that the League One Ontario and Quebec leagues are being allowed in. You'd have to think.
Although it is only the champions for those leagues, so I mean, the argument that's been made is that it's not a big enough season to justify them getting all the teams in. But you look at teams like KW United and Thunder Bay Shell and what they've done.
Boys, and we are presenting the Wanda Fuca plate. This trophy was created by the supporters in British Columbia of PDL teams. Originally, the Vancouver Whitecaps were the first team to win this, the U23 team, and they won it twice in a row. The Victoria Highlanders won it in 2014. And it wasn't until this year we had a rival again in the PDL. Thank you, Rovers, providing the rivalry. We appreciate it. Well done. Over the 3 games, Victoria won twice, the Rovers won once, so we win the plate. So we'd like to present the Wanda Fuca plate to the Victoria Highlanders.
And you will not see a more jubilant bunch of Canadians and friends in the PDL this season, as a little bit of local sporting culture remains on the island. Thank you for watching the broadcast today, everybody. On behalf of Michael McCall, my name is Roturo. Thank you for watching. We'll see you for the Friday season finale against the Seattle Sounders U23.